Hello friends, welcome back. In today's DBMS lab session, we are going to see data query language, which is also called as DQL. An example is using select command. The complete syntax of SQL queries consists of 6 clauses which are listed as follows. The first is select, and you need to apply these clauses in the same order that is given in the syntax. You should not shuffle them, like first you should not have group by and then select and then order by and all that. No, you should not reshuffle the order. So the order should be in the same way, like first there should be select and then from and where and group by, having and order by. So this should be the order of the clauses that you need to follow while giving the SQL queries. So the select command is used to retrieve the attributes from the table. There can be many attributes in a table, but what are all the attributes that you want to see in the result, you will be giving in the select clause. And what and all we have put, I have put in this square brackets is considered to be optional, so they can be or they may not be, based on your requirement you can use it. Now what is distinct keyword? Distinct keyword will in the resultant it will take off the duplicates and give you only the unique entries from the result. And so this is the attribute list. What are all the attributes that you want to project in the result, you will be giving in the select clause. Now coming to the second one. What is the second clause? The order should be in this format only, and the next is from clause. So the from clause will be having the table list. You can include one table or you can use 2 tables or 3 tables. There is no limit over here. So you can use many tables, and all the tables that you are using to generate the result should be there in the from clause. And the next is the where clause. The where clause will be having the condition, and this is Boolean evaluated expression. So this where clause will take a condition. It can have AND connectives and OR connectives and all that. The conditions can be connected with ANDs and ORs, and this condition, the output of this condition will be a Boolean expression. If it is true, then that tuple will be there in the result. If this condition evaluated to be false, then that tuple will not be there in the output. Okay, so the where will be having condition, and this where, group by and having and order by, all this I have put in the square bracket, meaning that they are optional, but select and from should be there in your simple queries. If you are writing a query which is simple, then at least it will be having this select and from clauses. Now what is group by? Group by is used to group the tuples based on a particular condition. Say for example, in the sailors table you want to group the sailors who are having rating 1, and you want to group the sailors based on the age, like who are all is of 45 years of age or 30 years of age. So that is what is called as group by. So you are grouping the tuples based on a specific attribute value. That is called as group by, and it is optional. And if you want to apply a condition on the grouped tuples, then you will be using the having clause. This where clause is applied on all the tuples, but if you want to apply the condition on the grouped tuples, then you will be using the having clause, and having clause will be there after the group by clause, and if it is needed, but having cannot be independently there in a query without a group by. Next is order by. Order by will arrange the tuples in terms of ordering, in terms of ascending or in terms of descending order. So these are all the clauses, and in the normal queries that we write, we'll be using select from where. But if you want some other things to happen in your application, you can also have this group by, having and order by. The simple query may not even have this where condition. So these are the six clauses that a query will be having. Now let us look into the process of how a query is evaluated. So first what happens is, this is the evaluation of a query. The first is like it will take the tables from the from clause, and it will compute the cross product of all the tables that are there in the from clause. This is very very important for you to understand to write queries. Okay, fine. The first is like compute the cross product of the tables in the from clause. What are all the tables listed in the from clause? If there is only single table, then this cross product will not happen. You can also give the same table two times in the from clause, wherein the cross product of the same table will happen. Okay, and next is after computing the cross product, what it will do is it will delete the rows in the cross product that fail the qualification condition. This qualification condition you are writing in the where clause, right? So the from looking into the qualification condition, like you are saying greater than 7 or whatever. So if you are saying greater than 7, it will be looking that what are all tuples satisfy greater than 7 for the rating. So those tuples will be kept, and the tuples which failed in the qualification condition are removed from this particular cross product table. That will happen as the next step. So what will happen after removing the unqualified conditions? So next is like from the select clause, it will be taking the attributes which are there in the select clause and keep those attributes and remove all those attributes which are not mentioned in the select clause. Keep the attributes that are mentioned in the select clause and remove the attributes that are not mentioned in the select clause. So that will happen in the third step. And the last step is, in case if the distinct is applied, so from the result that it has obtained, it will be removing the duplicate rows. So these are the 4 steps that will happen whenever you write a query. Now let us look into a simple query wherein there is no where clause, but I just have a select and from. So to retrieve, so this select from sailors I have been doing in my previous videos, and you know what is the output of this select star from sailors. So it is show all the records of sailors. So show all the tuples of the sailors. So we will be using this select star from sailors. What does it mean by star? Star means all the attributes that are there in the sailors, to show all the attributes that are there in the sailors. So what are the attributes that are there in the sailors table? The SID, SNAME, rating and age. So all those attributes and all the records will be shown, which means that we are showing the entire table with all the attributes and all the rows. So herein you can see that there is only one table here in the from clause, but you can also have more than one table in the from clause. So here is another example where we are including the where clause. The query is show all records of sailors whose rating is greater than 7. So for that, I don't want all the attributes from the sailors table. I just want the SID. So I said s.sid. I said select s.sid. Why I gave this s dot, I'll tell you. Now from sailors table, so SID is an attribute of the sailors table. So I am saying from the sailors table. Then now I gave a where clause wherein the condition is rating is greater than 7. So I said select s.sid from sailors S, where s.rating is greater than 7. So I want to retrieve the sailors SIDs whose rating is greater than 7. So what will be the result of this particular table? The result of this particular table will be, it will be having only one attribute, which is SID. I didn't mention SNAME, rating and age. So those 3 attributes will not be there in the result. Only SID will be there because I said SID. I want SID. And the tuples which do not qualify this condition, meaning that the tuples which are having rating 7 and less than 7 will not appear in the result. So this is how I have written the query, wherein we are having select from where, and the order should be like this only: select followed by from and then followed by where. You should not shuffle these the syntax. And the next one is like, why did I give an S over here? So why I gave an S over here is, this S is considered to be the range variable. What is a range variable? Range variable will actually resolve the conflict. I'll show you this in the next example, why this S is important over here. So just as of now, just remember S is a range variable which is used to resolve the conflict. Fine. This is an example wherein more than one table is there in the from clause. So what is the query? The query is, I want to find the names of the sailors who have reserved boat number 103. So here I am having, I want to know the names of the sailors who have reserved boat number 103. So I need the reserves table as well as the sailors table. I don't want the boats table because the boat information I am getting from the reserves table. So two tables are involved, the sailors table and the reserves table. How I am writing the query? So here it is saying find the names of the sailors. So I just want the names of the sailors. I don't want the rating, I don't want the age, etc. I don't want. So that's why I said S name over here. So I said select S name. From what are all the tables that are involved? There are two tables involved in this particular query. One is sailors and reserves. Because I cannot generate the result by just looking into one table because boat information is not there in the sailors table. Boat information, reservation, boat information, the sailor who reserved a particular boat is there in the reserves table. So I also need the reserves table here. And the condition, what is the qualification condition? Because I want to retrieve the name, I want to match the SIDs in both the tables. So I am saying S.SID is equal to R.SID. Now you can understand the importance of the range variable here. I cannot say SID is equal to SID because there is an SID in the reserves table. If you can see this, I have shown you an instance of the reserves table wherein I am having SID over here, which is SID, BID and day. These three are the attributes in the reserves table, right? We already have created a reserves table. I explained you what are the attributes. Please do recall all the concepts. And next is like the sailors table. Say in the sailors table also I am having an SID. Now if I write a query that SID is equal to SID, your execution engine will get confused like which SID I am talking about, and it will throw me an error. So to specifically say that SID of the sailors is matching with the SID of the reserves, so I have given a range variable here which will identify the table. I can also say sailors.sid is equal to reserves.sid without mentioning the range variable. But here I cannot write each and every time, I cannot write sailors dot reserves dot. So I just gave a variable over here. So it will be easy for me to write the queries without confusion, and I can enhance the readability of the query also. So I hope everybody understood what is the range variable. So I said R.BID is equal to 103 because I want the person who have reserved the boat number 103. So 103 is there in the reserves table. So I am saying R.BID should be equal to 103. And I want the name of the sailors. If I say find the SIDs of the sailors who have reserved boat number 103, reserves table will be enough for me. But since I want the name and the name is not there in the reserves table, now I have to compare this SID from the reserves table with the SID in the sailors table and then retrieve the name of the person from the sailors table. So that's why we have another condition which says S.SID is equal to R.SID. Now let me show you how this is evaluated. So as you can see that I am taking, if I take more number of tuples, it will be very difficult for you to understand. So that's why I just have taken an instance of the reserves table and the sailors table where there are only two rows, okay? Because the cross product also, it will be easy for you to understand. Say that I am having the reserves table with only 2 entries and the sailors table with only 3 entries. Okay, fine. Now the first step, I already have discussed what is in the previous slide. I have shown you like what is the conceptual evaluation strategy, how a query is evaluated. The first thing is like it will be performing the cross product of the two tables involved. In the from clause I am having two tables, sailors and reserves, so it will be doing the cross product of these two tables. To find the cross product, what we are doing is we are taking the sailors table S4 into R3, right? So take the first tuple. So the first tuple is 22 Dustin, and 22 Dustin is mapped with the two tuples in the reserves table. So you can see the mapping over here, and the next tuple is 31. 31 is mapped with the two tuples in the reserves table, and 58 Rusty is also mapped with the two tuples in the reserves table. Okay, so 3 into 2, I'll be getting 6 entries in the cross product. So I have got 6 entries in the cross product. Okay, and you can see that in the cross product all the attributes are listed out over here. You can see the importance of the range variable here. So I have S.SID, all the attributes from the sailors table, the 4 attributes and the 3 attributes from the results table, all this comes into the cross product. And now the condition is applied. After the cross product, the condition is applied from the where clause. What is the condition? R dot bid should be equal to 103. So all the tuples, and there is an and over here. Okay, so you know what is an and. And means that both the conditions should be true. So it should be 103, as well as like the SID, S dot SID should be equal to R dot SID. So let us try to see what are all matching. So you can see that this BID is 101. So this tuple will not be there in the result. Okay, so this tuple will not be there. Why this tuple will not be there in the result? Because BID is 101. And the next case, like I am having BID is 103, but if you see the SID and SID, S dot SID and R dot SID, they are not matching. So this tuple also will not be there in the result. Now see the next case, it is 101. So this tuple will not be there in the result. And next is 103, but this S dot SID and R dot SID are not matching. So this tuple also will not be there in the result. And next is like it is 101, so this tuple will not be there in the result. Now coming to the last tuple, 103 matched, and also S dot SID and R dot SID also matched. So what will happen? This tuple will be kept in the result. So all the tuples that matches with the qualifying condition will be there in the result. Now this result Rusty will be there. This only one tuple qualified. So now the next step is I want the S name. I want the S name. So I will just keep the S name. I'll just keep the S name over here by removing all other attributes, because in the query I said I just want the name of the sailors. I just want the name of the sailor who have reserved boat number 103. I want all the sailors, but here only one sailor qualified. So I am just taking this one tuple and I just want the name of the sailor. So the other attributes I don't want, because I didn't mention. If I say star, then all this this entire tuple will be retrieved, but I just want the S name, so only S name will be there. So after removing the unwanted columns, now only S name Rusty will appear in the result. So what is the answer for this query? The answer for this query and for the instances of the tables that I have given, the answer is Rusty. Okay friends, so this is how a query is evaluated. Any query that you take, this is the process how it is evaluated. Coming to the group by, having, and order by and all that, we'll see them in the consequent lab exercises. So I'll show the output of these queries in Oracle Live SQL. Back to Oracle Live SQL, let us execute this data query language commands with certain examples. The first query is to show all the records from the sailors. So I have given select star from sailors. So you know by now, in the previous videos I already have shown you this query. So wherein it will give me all the attributes and all the tuples in the sailors table. So these are all the tuples and attributes in the sailors table. So select star will give me all the attributes and all the tuples. And this is the boats table data. So to retrieve the boats table data, I am saying select star from boats. So there are 4 entries in the boats table and 3 attributes. So all that is shown here. And then I am having select star from reserves. So there are 3 attributes in reserves table and certain entries. So these are all the entries in the reserves table. Well, now that we have seen all the data in the sailors, boats and reserves, we'll apply the queries on them. So the fourth query is like I want to find the names and ages of all the sailors. So I just want the name and the ages. So that's the reason why I have put a name and age in the select clause. We have used the distinct because in case if there are 2 Horatios, I will be just removing one Horatio from the result. So as you have seen in the sailors table, so let me show you the sailors table. There are 2 Horatios over there in the sailors table. So one Horatio will be removed. So this is the sailors table. Just take a look. So I want to retrieve the names. Okay, so in the names you can see there are two Horatios, Horatio and Horatio. So let us see, but these two are two different people, but let us see if you apply distinct keyword, what will happen. So this is the one. So from the sailors table, here only one table, all the data is found in only one table. So from clause is having only the sailors. So I want the name and the age, right? So it is giving me the name and the age of the sailors. But you can see here in the output that there is no Horatio. Okay, only one Horatio is given because I have given the distinct keyword. If I don't give the distinct keyword, both the Horatios will appear. So this is the output. Just take a look at this output that there is only one Horatio, and I'll remove the distinct keyword and show you the result. Okay, so now I'm removing the distinct keyword. So I just removed the distinct keyword, and let us execute this query once again and see the result. So you can see here that I have got two Horatios. Okay, so this is the first Horatio and this is the second Horatio, and you can see that if I am not giving distinct, I can have duplicates in the result. If I give distinct, then from the result the duplicates are taken off. Okay, so this is the fourth query. Now the fifth query is find all sailors with a rating above 8. So I want all the sailors with a rating above 8. I didn't mention what are the attributes I want to project. So I want SID, SName, rating and age. So I have given specifically SID, name, SName, rating and age from sailors, where S dot rating is greater than 8. All the tuples that are qualifying this condition, rating greater than 8, will be there in the result. The rest of the tuples will be removed from the result. So let me execute this and show you. So I'll be having only the sailors data who are having rating greater than 8. So you can see that I have got only 3 entries over here who qualified the condition, Rusty, Zorba and Horatio, who have got rating greater than 8. And see, coming to the attributes, I want SID, SName, rating and age. All the 4 attributes are here, and the sailors table is having only these 4 attributes, right? So why I should be giving these separately? I can also write the same query in this manner by just replacing a star in front to represent all the attributes of the sailors. So I'll be giving this star in place of list of the attributes to specify that I want all the attributes. So let me execute this query and show you. The result will be same. The result is same. Okay, so it is giving SID, SName, rating and age, and Rusty, Zorba and Horatio. So the result is same. Okay, so you can also put star to represent all the attributes, to project all the attributes in a table. Now coming to the 7th question. So the query is find sailors names with a rating above 7 and age above 25. So there are two conditions here, and both the conditions need to be matched. So that's why we have put an connective over here, which is and, which says that both the conditions should be true. So both are important for the qualification of a tuple in the result. So I said select SName from sailors because I want to find the names of the sailors from sailors S, where this conditions, both the conditions should match. So let me execute this query and show you. So only those tuples which match both the conditions will appear, and I just want the names of the sailors. Okay, so these are all the names of the sailors whose rating is greater than 7 and age greater than 25. Okay, so these are all the names of the sailors. The next query is display all the names and colors of the boats. So I want the names and colors, I don't want the BID. So that's why I said B name and B color from boats. So it will just display everything from the boats table, but only for those attributes, name and color of the boats. So you can see I just got two attributes from the boat table, where the boats table is also having BID. If I want BID also, then I will be saying star. So these are all the boats information. And the next query is find all the boats with red color. So here there is a qualification condition, which means that the color of the boat is red, only those result I want. So I am saying select star from boats where B color is equal to red. So select star from boats where B color is equal to red. So see here friends, like you have got the result. So make sure that the value matches exactly. So it's red color. So I got two results, two boats with the red color. And the next query is find the names of the sailors who have reserved boat number 123. Let me check. Okay. So I am running this query. So it is saying no data found because there is no boat boat ID 123. So let us change this to 103 and see whether I get some results or not. So I am changing it to 103. So let me run this once again and check whether there are any sailors who have reserved this boat. So yes, I got the names of the sailors who have reserved this boat 103, which is Dustin, Lubber and Horatio. Okay, fine. And 11th query is that find the names of the sailors who have reserved red boat. Okay, so here I want the names of the sailors who have reserved the red boat. So so there is a connection here, because where is the red color? Red color is there in the boats table, and from the boats table I need to retrieve the BID. Okay, so I need to retrieve the BID from the boats table. So that's why we are saying B is equal to B color is equal to red. For the red color you are retrieving the boats ID. Just look into the connection. So from the boats table I am getting the BID of the boat which is having the red color, and this BID I am matching with the BID that is there in the reserves table. And then after I got the after matching, okay, so some tuples will be selected in the reserves table. So what are the tuples that are selected in the reserves table? Those are the tuples which are red color boat ones. So from there what I am doing is, in the reserves table I have the SIDs of the sailors. So I will be taking the SIDs of the sailors whose boat is red in color, and that SID I am matching it to the SID in the sailors table. And after matching this from the sailors table with the matched SIDs, I am retrieving the names of the sailors from the sailors table. So we are coming from the boats. Okay, so from the, because the red color is in the boats only, so that information is there in the boats. So from the boats we are getting the BID, map this BID to the reserves BID, then get the SID, take the SID from the reserves, map it to the SID in the sailors table, and in the sailors table for the SID that is mapped, retrieve the name and project it, okay, and show it as a result. So this is how I have written this query. So let me execute and give you the names of the sailors who have reserved a red boat. So these are the people who have reserved the red boat. Okay, Dustin have reserved two red boats. Okay, and Lubber also have reserved the two red boats, and Horatio. Since I didn't give distinct keyword, I'm getting duplicates. If I give distinct, this will be removed, and the next one, duplicates will be removed. And next query is find the colors of boats reserved by Lubber. So here Lubber information I will get from the sailors table. So I am saying S name is equal to Lubber. And what I want the colors of boats. See here in the previous example also I am utilizing all the three tables. That's why I have sailors, reserves and boats. All the three tables will be there in the from clause. So even in this case I want the colors. So I want for a specific person, S name Lubber. Lubber is S name. S name is in sailors. So I need the sailors table, and also I need to know I need to go to the reserves table to know the BID, to know the boats that lubber reserved. From the reserves table, I will be mapping the boat IDs to the boats table to find out whether the boats reserved by lubber are having what colors they are having. So, we are connecting all these three tables, okay. So, sailors, reserves and boats. So, all these three have appeared in the from clause. So, we want the colors, right. So, that is what we are projecting here in the select. So, I am saying select B dot B color from all these tables, where SID from the sailors is equal to SID in the reserves, and BID in the reserves is equal to BID in the boats, and S dot S name is equal to lubber. Since these conditions that we are writing in the where clause, it can be one before the other, or you can also write it like S name is equal to lubber and then BID is equal to BID in the boats, and then SID from the reserves is equal to SID in sailors. So, you can write it anyways, because there is an AND connectivity, it will check for all the conditions, okay, true or false. So, I hope you understood this query, and let us check what are the boat colors that lubber reserved. So, I just got the boat colors. He have reserved red, green and red colors. You can just apply the distinct keyword over here. So, you will be getting the distinct answer. So, I will be getting red and green, or so I am running it once again. So, you can see as soon as I have applied the distinct keyword, I just got the colors. Red and green are the colors of boats that the lubber reserved. Let us look into another query. Find the names of the sailors who have reserved at least one boat. I just want to know who are all the sailors who reserved at least one boat. So, for that I need information from sailors and reserves, because reserves have got the reservation details. So, I do not want the boats table, because here itself in the reserves itself I will get to know who are all the sailors. So, I just need to map the SIDs from the reserves table to the SIDs of the sailors table. That is what we have done here. So, we did where S dot SID is equal to R dot SID. So, if that is matching, then take the same SIDs into the sailors table and retrieve the S name. So, let me execute and show you the names of the sailors who have reserved at least one boat. So, these are all the people who have reserved the boat: Lubber, Horatio and Dustin. These are all the three people from the sailors table who have made a reservation, at least one boat. Now, coming to the next query, find the names of the sailors who have reserved two different boats. So, we want to find out the sailors who have reserved two different boats. So, this is a bit tricky question. So, here because the boat ID should be different, we are saying two different boats, right. So, from the reserves table you need to get two BIDs, and if there are two BIDs for a sailor, then you will put that in the result, wherein these two BIDs in the reserves table should not be same, okay. Let me show you the reserves table and explain you this query. So, I will say select star from reserves. Okay, take a look at the reserves table. So, I want, so what is your question? We want the names of the sailors who have reserved two different boats. Two different boats. Now, for example, 22 have reserved two different boats, 101, 102 and all that. And also 31 also have reserved two different boats. How I am saying two different boats? Because the BIDs are not matching. 101 is not equal to 102, right? It means that 22 have reserved two different boats. And also I can say 64 also have reserved two different boats. Okay, but 74 you can see he reserved only one boat. So, this will be eliminated. So, in the result I will be getting 22, 31 and 64, because we can clearly see that they have two different boats reserved. 74 will not appear in the result. Now, how to write it in a query? So to write it in the query, like we are checking the BIDs, right, from the reserves table itself. So BID of the reserves table, one entry from the reserves table should not be equal to the BID in the other entry. So to do that, we need to do a cross product of the reserves table itself on itself. Okay, so that's what we are doing, reserves R1 and reserves R2, wherein the cross product of the reserves table itself will happen. This is self cross product, and then we are matching the BIDs, and both the BIDs from this cross product should not be equal. So after that, we are checking for the condition that s dot SID is equal to R2 dot SID and s dot SID is equal to R1 dot SID. So it means that this same person, right, we are saying the name of the sailors who have reserved two different boats. Boats should be different, but the SID should be same for these two boats. So that's the condition that we have applied here. So let me execute and show you. So I'll be getting the names of the sailors. So names of the sailors, wherein I have shown you, right, 22 is Dustin's, and 64 is Horatio, and 32 is Lubbo. So you can see that only these three have come, but in the reserves table we are having four different sailors, but I am getting only 3 people because I showed you 74 do not have two boats, he just reserved one boat. So this is the answer for the for this particular query. Hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you.